Hello, I'm Alex Davies, founder of Wealth Club. Today I'm with John Holden, manager of the Foresight Williams Technology EIS Fund. Hello, John.
Hello.
First off, John, can you just give me a bit of background about yourself and Foresight?
So Foresight is a London-based fund manager. We manage 2.9 billion of funds, of which 300 million is the private equity group of which I'm part. I joined Foresight about 2 years ago, specifically to work on the Foresight Williams Technology Fund. Previously I started with 3i a long time ago and spent 5 years at Imperial Innovations as a director there.
So tell me about the Foresight Williams Technology Fund. What is it?
The Foresight Williams Technology Fund is a collaboration between us and the engineering subsidiary of Williams F1. It brings together the discipline of investing and portfolio management, which we Foresight look after, together with the technical and engineering capability of Williams F1. It's a combination that has gone down really very well with a lot of the companies that we meet, because it's a big differentiator for them to be able to talk technically and as well as to talk to us in terms of investment and the future.
And can you give me a few examples of the companies you've invested in so far?
Sure. The first company that we invested in was a company called Utonomy, which is based in Southampton. And Utonomy has developed a new control and management system for gas networks. One of the strange things about gas networks is that they are all over-pressurized because it's very, very hard to regulate the pressure out in the field. What Utonomy have come up with is an Internet of Things proposition which allows them to regulate the pressure of gas from HQ rather than sending somebody out into the field to do it manually. In fact, behind that is a strong IoT business model with hardware to be bought on the way in, but also recurring revenue for software as we go forward. So what we thought was simply a gas management system is in fact something much bigger, and they're going very well. We're now their largest investor and we act as lead investor as well.
And any other examples?
Yes, well the obvious one is Oxford Space Systems, which has had some high profile. We like it very much because actually there are some very strong fundamentals in there. The first thing is the space market, if I could put it that way, which has changed dramatically over the last few years from being a military and government field to being much more of a commercial play. That means that there are lots more opportunities for people like Oxford Space Systems who provide the component parts, as it were, of satellites. The team there is fantastic. They're doing very well. They're planned into all sorts of projects. So some of the proof points that we were looking for have already come through. And we have high hopes.
And how many companies have you actually invested in so far?
We've invested in 8 so far. We've invested a total of 12.4 million. So far, so good. I think is probably the best way to put it.
And is it difficult to find investments?
It isn't. It's hard to choose. Part of that is to do with what we think we're good at. And again, back to the Williams linkage, we rely very much on their technical input. And if something is not an area that they have a great deal of expertise in, the chances are we will pass. So that we don't go into areas that we don't have that particular advantage.
So just to go back into it then for my own clarity, is exactly how does the relationship work? What does Williams do? And it's very important to mention it's not the racing car division, you're not.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
So we look after the investment process and we look after the portfolio management and the board side of things. They are principally responsible for technical diligence on the way in, and then working with companies afterwards. We both do prospecting to look for opportunities. We are in and out of each other's offices quite regularly, and we do tend to swap about a bit. It's quite a close relationship now.
And what's in it for them? Are they looking for companies in their own field of expertise, or how does it work?
I think they're looking for things that are different from what they've been doing to date. I think finding themselves in areas where their knowledge is relevant but the market might be different. I think it's an opportunity for the people who work there to engage on something that is different and gives them a new skill set. I think most of that, I think, is where it's at.
And what do you think makes you well placed to succeed with this?
Well, I think in fairness, a lot of it has to do with the difference that the Williams F1 guys bring. But from our point of view, Foresight has a long track record of investing and managing funds. In early stage, it's not an area that we've been into for a while, and this fund is probably a return for Foresight to proper early stage, if you will. But I think that's part of why we wanted to engage with somebody who could bring us a point of difference, which Williams certainly have.
How young are these companies typically?
They are almost all pre-revenue, with one or two honourable exceptions. They are usually still involved in prototyping. We are looking at, for a number of ours, we're not expecting them to see revenue for 18 months to 2 years probably. We have others which are a bit more advanced, which will come to maturity a little bit sooner. But overall, we're really looking at things that we're going to be in for between 5 or 8 years or so, if they're going to come good.
And that's sort of what investors should be considering when they go in 5, 8 year time horizon.
As ever, the lemons always make themselves known early on, and the plums will be there for a while longer.
So if I'm going to invest in an EIS this year, why should I invest with you?
I think the reason is that we can find high value growth. We can manage that and understand what's good and what's not, and be able to look after it for the period that you will need to see that real value.
John Holden of Foresight, thank you very much.
Thank you.